All right. So what happened there?
So it was a very direct conversation. I kind of wish I was a little bit direct, more direct at the end, but it's one of those things that people haven't seen, so it's hard to walk people through it. But I'll explain. I said, look, I know you're a faceless asset. I'm not going to pretend you don't know I know, and vice versa. I mean, you've been involved in so much shit, and by telling you, hopefully that's going to make you reconsider some things. You know what you were doing yesterday. I know what you were doing yesterday. And a lot of what I know isn't your fault. It's because you worked with a bunch of idiots. And then I brought up JJ and the bakery he's leaving behind. I didn't go into the specifics, but my general goal at a high level is get some of these folks, ADMC for example, right, to recognize that, and I told them this, that they're going to offer you the world, but at what cost, right? Yeah. So that's kind of the first angle, right? Which I'm shocked that is not something that has been done before. That's how I got so much. Oh yeah, we got to do a big powwow. The amount of tea that was given to me by old Faceless assets is crazy. I didn't even need Gunner's shit. I got their entire fucking story arc by two of the best narrators in the city. I'll put it that way. One of which is Edgar de Castillo. Everything.
I know who that is.
So what I propose here and kind of my angle is, number one, hopefully they heed the warning and start to question whether they continue to work with Shang, right? Or sorry, with the Faceless, right? Because I pointed out just straight up, why would you, like, I pointed out, look, I don't know why people do these things, right? Consider you have Benji Ramos and Ray Romanoff murking each other, and the next day they're holding hands on a Faceless mission. Like, that's just obscene and absurd. And then I went on to say in the vaguest of terms, hey, what's going on, McAllister?
Hey,
just got done having a chat with Shang. He wasn't going to go on interrogation. Hey. So I took a very direct angle, and I want to be, as a pre-warning, do not copy what I am doing, at least not until future. I straight up, so I went to him. I only just started replaying it, but I just straight up said, I know you're a Faceless asset. You know I know. I'm not going to play those games. You've been in enough of these situations. The fact that, and if this is a shock to you, well, then it should have been done a long time ago. The second thing I planted the seed of in his head is that that this knowledge probably would not exist if it wasn't for the other individuals that he is being forced to be put in the same group with, right? So and then I opened the door for JJ, and I said, JJ has left such a bakery behind that you should be worrying about not the liability that you're taking on, but the liability that others are bringing to you. And at what cost? At what value? But they give you some things here and there. They give you promises. look at what's happened to those that used to work for them, right? So that angle number one is, you know, have these guys start really questioning whether they want to do this shit, right?
I mean, the Faceless have killed their own assets multiple times.
Yes. They're disposable, right?
Disposable. They've always been disposable.
I then gave and I said this, like I said, I'm not going to go into detail here, but I am more aware of what happened yesterday than you may realize. And I can tell you this, that you will not be the ones that will be benefiting. And what I'm sort of pointing at there is, look, let's be real, bro. It's going to be Juan Carlos and Dio that are walking away with the biggest loot. In fact, Dio probably at the top of that list. And they may not know. There's a world where Shang doesn't even know why he did what he did yesterday, right? They may not even know why they did it. They may have genuinely just did this to get that thing delivered to the Faceless, and then the Faceless will do whatever they desire with that prize. You know what I mean? Like they like this could have been just mercenaries, but I planted the seed, right? And I then went on to highlight, you probably don't know this, but you have a very light footprint in all of this. He said he's not gonna be able to say things on the record, right? Which I get, right?
Obviously.
But I said, what I'm hoping that comes out of this is two things. One is you don't vote for JJ. Because you are just going to further erode, like you're already kind of working for the Faceless, right? Like the point was that you're already working for the Faceless. You're already indirectly empowering someone else and thus taking away power from yourself.
Yeah.
But you put JJ there, you're now even taking the third, fourth back seat, right? At that point.
Yeah.
To which they said, I would not vote for him in a million years. So that's, good. And so I said, well, that's 50% of what this conversation was. So fantastic. And then I said, I don't think you and Finley should have to pay the sins of other people's mistakes. What I want is you to consider, when Finley's back, to consent and work with us to close out your involvement. Now, the point of this is, and I want you all to think about this like from a very investigative, strategic perspective. We cannot pull on 20, 30 strings, right? If we can close out a plea with Milton after this raid, right, on reasonable grounds, they get to walk away, right? If they go and try to challenge, and I told them this, I have to then make sure my shit's good, which means we have to do more and more work. And what that means is, and we'll do it, but that also means it's going to expose the, it's going to put a bigger spotlight on them, right? So I think they are going to take it into consideration. I think that's going to be a big W, even if they give us 20, 30% of the way. Because, I did say, so I can focus my energy. You guys can walk away, right? With that plea, close a chapter until obviously you do some other crazy shit down the line, and I can refocus my energy on JJ. And I do think they're at least considering it. So, I think that's a big one. So we can actually tick off the interrogation for Shang. I think that's going to be sorted.
Okay, do you want me to go into my notes now?
Yes. Which, by the way, I apologize. We couldn't link up earlier.
You're
And then I pulled your reports up. I'm like, holy fuck, this man cooked last night. Like, beyond what you had told me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My brain got fried to the point where I wasn't driving a car properly earlier.
Mm.
And I was driving around with Junior, and he was just noticing me crash into barriers. I was like, okay,
Oh my
no, I need
God.
to sleep. I'm gonna drive you back to your car, and then we're gonna talk about this later. Because frankly, the archivist sent us on a wild goose chase, and it was a whole fucking thing. If you're listening right now, fuck you, archivists.
Yeah.
But here's where I'll go into the other shit. First off, our lovely little device showed me a brand new contract that exists in there right now. If you want to, take a peek, but the contract for it's already been claimed. It's for a person named Torres Sanchez. Not quite sure as to what happened. Don't know who the hell they are. We don't even have a fucking profile on them, frankly. But we'll see what happens. I haven't checked it yet today, but I'm assuming that it's been updated. Furthermore, one other note that I didn't really get to put in. Have you guys checked out issue 11 of
I just
the Chronicle?
noticed a copy. I have not yet read it.
So
I have been told that it puts certain things in very odd light, including but not limited to some of the things that may have happened yesterday. Question mark?
yes. So I gave it a quick skim, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read it in its entirety, nor have I read it properly. But there was one thing that kind of caught my eye as I was just skimming it, and that was next to the bomb, investigators found a few items. One of them, a coin with the letters TF engraved on it. We already know that the Faceless hands out coins to its operative. The guy that we found yesterday literally has a TF coin on him.
What does that mean?
I assume it's the Faceless coin.
Can you someone pointing I remember someone pointing this to me, but I was so like my brain was melted.
I'll walk you through a few things real quick. Give me a second. Let me go back to the Battlefield 6 report. Fantastic name, by the way.
Thank you.
I have to give credit where credit's due. No, I don't want Ashira Petros's equipment registry. Why can't you just give me what I ask for when I search for it, MDT? What's the report number? Does anyone here have it? I can't find it.
Oh, sorry.
Never mind. Found it. You renamed it. Fantastic. 33824 for those interested. Okay. I still need to make notes on the previous things before the Kin situation. But if you look at Arthur Rain's involvement in this entire thing.
Wait, in Battlefield 6?
In Battlefield 6, yep. I summarize it easily in there. Heavy rifle
you
is
missed
the only previously used weapon.
Just real quick, at the top of Battlefield 6, you'll notice I created a to-do kind of broken down.
Yeah.
I didn't use the stars because the stars make it unreadable to the tiny.
Yeah,
and then sanitized note. Feel free to expand on this.
You're more than fair.
Okay.
At least the raid for Milton's already been written. I don't know as to what happened there. I don't know why it hasn't been signed yet, but I digress.
Can you pause just for 1 second? Let me check that. They may not have notified the DOJ.
I don't think they did. Furthermore,
wait, give me just 1 sec. I can check just real quick so we don't forget. DOJ, interfaction. Oh, here we go. Search warrants. Oh! Okay. One was, but not the others. Which are... let me just double check all of these just real fast.
33818 was never signed by a commanding officer. Not quite sure as to why.
33818. One Riker.
Yep. The one that I rewrote with Riker, yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay. We need someone to review this. It's been a shit show, by the way, while you've been gone. Oh my God, where is everybody?
Gave a glance. I saw Humane Lab zombies, and I went back to sleep. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm
Ruby.
not dealing with
I know
it.
it's getting very late for you. I'm surprised you're awake. I
Uh,
haven't
no.
I haven't
What's
asked
up?
though.
Okay.
33818.
Okay.
It's been co-worked on by both Cohen Riker as well as and McAllister.
There you go.
This
You
is
get
the
it.
raid for Finley Milton. Are you by any chance able to review this today?
Yeah, after this 911.
Easy. Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you very much. All right.
Okay, bye.
All right. Take care. All right. Okay. One checked off. All right. What was the other one?
That was the only one when it came to search warrants. I've already asked the judges to review the subpoena. I specifically called and asked Ava Devereaux, but she said, sorry, I don't do it via phone call. You have to follow the proper etiquette when it comes to the chain and everything else. And I said, for fuck's sake, it's a
Yeah, I got it.
background check subpoena. So then I just did it.
77722. Jessica Springfield, I can sign this.
You've already signed Jessica Springfield. It's just the judges that haven't. So I'm trying to get them to do that right now. I also need to pull the records on the archivist shit because they sent me on a fucking wild goose chase today and targeted my fucking car and like several other cars. It was a whole fucking thing.
33818. I'm just reviewing all these. Yep. And okay, I think that's everything. I could have sworn there was a subpoena in here too. Chris Peters.
There may have been a subpoena for
33732. Okay, we Gucci gang. All right, so
sure.
That one is done. Raid warrant is being reviewed by Ruby. Search warrant is okay. We Gucci gang. All right.
Fantastic. Out of curiosity, when you were talking to the ADMC, obviously you were feeding them information. Whatever did, like, I don't know if you glossed over this. Are they aware of this anyway?
Aware of what?
The reason that the search warrant. Obviously, I had an LMG on him. I'm expecting that they know.
Yeah. I mean, they knew their properties were locked yesterday.
The problem is, right? If we full send a raid at them, right, and they are cooperative in any way, shape, or form, the face is going to notice that.
I wouldn't worry about that, to be honest.
You wouldn't?
No. I think it's a reasonable thought to have in our background, but I may be the general belief that, like, listen, they did the crime. We can't maybe
110%.
assistant terrorist, right? As to whether the Faceless now targeting them over it.
The ADMC can't sit by and watch us raid them.
They did last time.
Did they last time? Because from what I heard, they've been non-stop targeting officers ever since.
So I'll give you the full tea, to give you context. And the beauty of we do not represent the ills of LSPD and BCSO.
Hi, Lucas Miller.
Lucas Miller, was instructed by LSPD command to, under the guise of a, they wanted him to start like doing more, like investigate, in order to become like a sergeant. So he's like, oh, okay. And so there happened to have been like some AC like robbery or like some small shit, right? Which resulted in an OIS. For some reason, which I still don't understand, because this energy is not given to anybody else, they decided, let's fuck them. Fuck the ADMC. Fuck them. Like, which is crazy to me because ADMC is one of the least violent gangs, like, comparatively to everything else we see in the city. Like fucking, like besties, like, they're funny
besties
people.
Besties are fucking deadly.
Exactly. Like, and so, but so like the energy was very odd, but whatever, right? So everyone's like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." Now this is on the helm of the ADMC not liking people driving through their like apartment blocks, right? Call it their block, call it their turf, whatever, man. Everyone's got fucking turf. But the big thing is, even if they don't call it that, they fucking live there and people are sending chases through. But what makes it worse is some people do some cringe shit. I consider it cringe, which is that you know that they don't like you driving through there and you're driving through there just to agitate a reaction. I hate that. I'm just going to tell you straight. Shit like that is like, I would never allow those people in my police department because it edges into a line that I think is gross, right? Because the thing is, right, criminals are going to criminal, but if you like agitate a reaction, that's just fucking weird because like you're, you know, unless you ICU, let me just throw,
I think
you get my energy there. Like, unless you're willing to do that shit, then don't do it.
I think personally, right, there's a time and a place for things like that. If you're willing to do it the open way, where you intentionally aggravate the faceless so that they slip up, that's one way. But if you're willingly going to a known gang block and you're essentially
like no ballsing them
your own death,
and then they react, I don't like that at all.
Isn't considered any form of look, I'm blanking on the line. I just woke up, but what is it considered when, you know, cops get someone to commit a crime on their behalf? Blah blah blah. Entrapment. I consider it a form of entrapment.
Yeah, let's call it like it's not entrapment, but it's kind of like entrapment. Yeah, exactly.
It's borderline entrapment is what I'd like to call it. It's ridiculous.
There are differences, right? Like, let's say you go to Grove Street and you're actually like investigating something, right? And you're just getting unnecessarily that, like, I don't fuck with. I say, you know what I mean? And there might be some level of like increase, but it's just it's dumb, right? We're meant to de-escalate, right? That, and if we're doing something, then we are allowed to be there. But to do it for not an investigative reason, but a reaction reason, not a fan. Not a fan. It's dumb. It's not cop-like. It's just. But anyways, my point is that there was a mix of dumb shit. But what happens is when people do dumb shit, it crosses into those that are legitimately there, right? The thing is, you're not going to hear about the dumb shit when the legitimate shit's being discussed, right? So there was just a mix of things like, you know, cops will be shot here, whatever. It's their fucking right to write it. You can't get pissed about fucking graffiti and act like you care about that apartment block and it's got to get washed down or whatever, right? Like, if there was other civilians living there, whatever, man. Like, it was just a whole strange situation. Like, it definitely felt petty and extremely out of disproportionate. But whatever, right? That's just my opinion. Law enforcement still decided to. So this is what happened next, right? Miller jumps on the case to this shootout and fucking writes raid warrants for like 5 members of ADMC. Now it gets worse. He didn't know what the fuck to do. He got zero guidance from LSPD command. Instead, he came to me in BCSO. He came to Frost. He went to Stevie. And we all were like, bruh, why are you doing this? Who's telling you to do it? This isn't your investigation. You don't investigate unless you have an investigative reason. And if you're not the one that has the investigative reason, you shouldn't be doing it. That's like weird, man. Yeah. Like, it's like, but instead they went MDT hunting. This guy, the advice, God knows where it came from, started searching for uses of Class 2 firearms and wrote 5 warrants. They were so bad that some of them were spread.
He did possession-based search warrants, which are lazy as fuck. Continue.
They're so lazy. It's like, what is your goal? This is so like, it's like, this ain't a ping. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so, the only reason I did that shit with Finley was because he had a fucking Class 3 on him.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, that's different. Well, but it's very different. And you know,
very different.
Now, it would also make sense if we arrested someone and we're like, we had already pre-baked, like, yo, we're doing a thing where it's like, once you do your 5th, then we're going to raid. You don't go back in history to find a reason to raid someone without a investigative objective.
Yeah.
Now, like, let me give you a example, right? If today we find that, let's pull a name out of our hat, like JJ, right? I wouldn't even do it to JJ right now, right? We're going back in history, but it's because of what's happening now, right? Not like he did something petty.
So finding a passive-aggressive reason to attack him based off of his past,
exactly,
not the crimes in which he'll commit in the future.
So he writes this shit up,
on an investigation.
and Miller doesn't know any better because he's a fucking, like, you know, he's not an investigator, but no one's stopping him. And we're telling him, like, bro, this is like strange as shit. And there is a lot of energy of like, let's just get raids. Let's just get raids. Now, a lot of this came from Turner just saying raids, and then the degeneracy layer between him just translated that to, oh yeah, 3 guns equals raid. And it's like, so in all of these things, of the warrants that were thrown out, which obviously would have because it was insane, the one warrant that was sticking was Finley Milton. You ready for this? Finley wasn't involved in the OIS. And so now in the back of, you know, and this shit was locked down for like a week, right? As the rewrite of the raid warrant was like 3, 4, 5 times. Now, at that point, you don't actually, like, based on the law, if our warrant gets denied, let's say our warrant gets denied and we're like, oh shit, we need to expand on and make more clear what our probable cause is, because in our mental, we know why, right? But it's denied, and we now believe that we didn't explain ourselves enough, right? And we're further crystallizing it. It's fine to maintain a lockdown, but that didn't happen here. What happened was it was not denied. Let me get some more shit. Denied. Let me get more shit.
Oh,
but no. Like, your objective reason, your investigative reason is just fucked, because your only reason is fuck the ADMC. It was insane. Miller didn't even get shot by them. So, like, what do you do? What is happening? So, and I'm watching this and I'm like telling these guys, like, this is fucking insane. So, and they're not even bringing him into interrogation, which is so wild, right? Like, they're literally having to sit on like the sidelines, watching their properties, not knowing why it's happening, and so it was bad. So finally,
Are you telling me that the LSPD inherently infringed on their right to property?
Yes. Oh, among among with a litany of things, right? Now, and no one wanted to listen. And when I would say things, mind you, it was like that Brian's being mean energy. Brian wants us to fail energy. You know, all the fucking cringe shit some cops say. Like, you know, it's just, and it's not like, hey, this guy is trying to point us into a healthy direction that is going to help us. No, it sort of gets twisted into this, like, I don't know, projected sort of image of something. You know what I mean? Like, I have no interest in bringing people down, right? It's just not I'm not interested in that, just straight up. But whatever. So now finally, you know, the day before the raid, Miller finally decides, under intense pressure, to go talk to them. So he goes and talks to ADMC. They're like in a vehicle, and there's a fucking camera in there, and they record a conversation between Miller and the ADMC. Now Stevie is there, and she's there because she's also trying to do what I tried to do. What Frost tried to do is help this poor helpless child known as Miller, while he's got these like crackhead parents that are telling him to smoke some crack with them. You know what I mean? That's like the pictorial like image of what I imagine nowadays. It's just like, you know, the fucking, you know, this, like, they're not changing his diaper, you know, fucking shit all over his shirt, right? And you're like, you're like, hey, here, let me help you out here. Let me clean you up. And they're coming and knocking on the door like, what are you doing with my kid? Let him smoke the crack. I'm like, all right, fuck. Well.
Good for him. Yeah, no, I know. I get it.
Yeah. And so now,
No, I know.
in this conversation, now, once again, Stevie's there not to try to convince, like, talk to him. But Miller, being Miller, is now questioned. Hey, Finley asks Miller, okay, I get why you may have raided them, but why am I getting raided? I wasn't even there. To which Miller replies, guilty by association. On tape.
San Andreas doesn't.
And it's not even that. He definitively, on recording, stated that he just gave himself in court when this thing finally fucking goes to court and is heard. That right there may be what rips his qualified immunity and may fundamentally make his actions on Finley Milton malicious prosecution, right? Because there was no investigative reason. There was just, I looked in the MDT. And what further expands on it is the simple fact that, what do you call it? That he just said guilty by association. Oh, but it gets worse. It gets worse.
Yep, I'm taking this one. Yep, continue, please.
So now the raid happens, right? It can't get worse, surely. What do you call it? Now it's raid day. And I want nothing to do with it because I think this whole thing is like so disgusting already. Miller goes and Finley goes and they're now some of PD's like agit like fuck ADMC. Da, 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 da. ADMC goes and says, you know what? We're not even gonna fight you guys. We're gonna actually let you into our property, specifically Milton's mods, and we're not gonna fight. Whatever, you guys can go in there. Warrant signed, whatever. And they do. Miller, having not found anything, obviously, because it's a fucking mechanic shop, subsequently decides that he needs to look under he is told, whatever you do, if you need any help moving things, let me know. I can help. Finley says this. Understandably, okay, they're like, no, we're good. Says, the only thing I ask, do not touch the two cars in there. They have sentimental value. He's also told this again by EMS.
So, let me just make sure that we don't harp on the story for too long. Finley then offers. Obviously, Lucas says no. Lucas then decides, "Ooh, sledgehammer, pretty." He then smashes apart half the fucking Milton's mods.
Oh, it gets worse.
Which leads to the ADMC getting mad. Which leads to the ADMC
no.
hunting him
It's
down.
even worse. Then Maxwell and Opal egg him on to break the second one.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yes.
Nice.
Under the claim of there might be something underneath. So the next day, I have to handle this as a member of High Command, and I've got Doofus 1 and Doofus 2 next to me who happen to be High Command. One's the Undersheriff, the other's the Ass Chief. And I tell Miller, brother, what the fuck happened inside? Because there's only two outcomes. One is you believe it's a magical hammer that moves things, right? In which case, if you're playing Magical Hammer, then Magical Hammer tells you there's nothing underneath, right? If you're playing it from the perspective of you actually are looking for something, then why the fuck did all the other shit get smashed up, right? You can't play, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really have two views of the world simultaneously and only use the convenient factors, right? And he just is straight lying to me. And this dumb fuck is literally like, I'm going to glaze myself. have done so many interrogations. This is my bread and butter. This guy can't lie for shit. And I fucking snap on this bitch. Because right now, the three of us in high command handling this need him to be honest so we can resolve this, right? It doesn't mean make it go away. Doesn't mean lie. What it means is minimize and resolve through whatever. We suspend him for a little bit, right? Go like pay out whatever money. It's over. No, this dumb fuck lies, and dumb fuck 1 and dumb fuck 2 were in Zootland, start hearing me yelling, and they say I'm the crazy one. I'm like, this guy literally just fucking shit on someone's mother's grave and he wants to lie to high command. What kind of department are you running here? Right? Where you have a scenario where you can let a subordinate lie to superiors. It doesn't
You're
work.
saying this is the type of incident the marshals need to be involved in, but instead we were throwing other shit instead, you know?
Yep. Oh, so it gets worse.
Yeah, of course it does.
He keeps lying. And because we have bozos in high command, they tried to claim that he wasn't. They started to say that I was hiding information. Turner said I was hiding information from them when I literally wrote a fucking report on it with everything. You know what it turned out? It turned out that he thought I was hiding an EMS statement, which he had received. But he expected me to like tell him verbally I gave it to him, even though it's in the fucking report. Right? So like, you get what I'm saying? Like they get in like some of these people, they get in these like very childish sort of like mental spaces where it's like, you know, they can't comprehend like basic adult actions. Like write an official report, talk collectively and not independently for a fucking week. He eventually got fired because he ended up lying about something. I forgot what it was. But he finally got let go. Ruth, who's now going to be working for us, actually learned directly from Miller that Maxwell and Opal had told them to do the second one. They walked scot-free. They had nothing. Shit didn't happen to them. In fact, mysteriously, they forgot about it. I know because Ruth told me the next damn day.
Wait.
Right?
You're hiring Brooke Ruth?
Where we'll discuss further.
Okay, yeah, because that's really gonna.
Piss off
that's
someone.
really gonna piss off so many people.
I'm not gonna turn anyone away just because people act like fucking children. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
We need
have
good.
Roselle and Pred that are gonna be so fucking angry for that one, and I cannot wait.
I think Roselle's fine with it. And Pred being upset is just brain dead of him, quite frankly. But anyways, let's go further. So now this guy gets fired. Maxwell gets away with it, right? I don't know how the fuck. Which, by the way, I want to be clear here. I don't think Miller needed to be fired. I don't even necessarily think that Maxwell needed to get in a lot of trouble. It's that these idiots don't know how to actually discipline. Where, look, and that's why day one I was very transparent. Discipline, accountability is big for me. Y'all are going to do something dumb at some point. I'm going to do something dumb at some point. You know how to answer it? What the fuck happened? Okay. Suspended 6 hours, right? Take it on the fucking chin. Let's move on. Not drag it out into a fucking week where that individual ends up being like a target for tea partying, right? Because you don't know how to fulfill the rest of your 12 hours a day for a week. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like you don't need, Miller does not need to be a storyline, does not need to be a 7-day storyline because you can't do anything else. Like that's the only reason you would fill your time with that. It doesn't. No, you fucking slap a motherfucker, you throw them into a suspension or two, and then you fix them, right? You build them up. Not wait till like the fucking damn bomb's about to blow and then be like, well, why did that happen? No, fucking defuse it, dumb fuck. Anyways, well, it gets worse. He then gets hot. No. Well, let's actually leave it there. No, let's not leave it there. So after that whole situation, PD then, because they're fucking dumb as shit, still does not comprehend what has happened. Because they put up an announcement saying that ADMC is attacking PD over the raid. It wasn't ADMC that did it. It was the hounds. ADMC didn't do anything. So for a week or two, they went hard on ADMC on everything. There was a fucking announcement about it.
Remember the announcement?
Like, it was so gross. It's like, you guys are so mad. You don't even know. You're just targeting them. They didn't even do anything.
Why? Okay, genuine question here. Why has no one from the PD tried raiding the hounds?
Oh my God. Listen. Oh man, this is so therapeutic for me. I'll tell you in a
the hounds
moment.
are really pissing me off. But continue.
So then let's fast forward to this court case. These fucking dumb fucks literally are lying. Because they are. Now, how is it accountability when you're in a court of law and you have your attorney stating to remove Maxwell and Opal from the court case because they had no involvement, even though they constructively did, because there's already a statement made by Miller to Ruth. And when that gets out, they should be stripped as well. How are you letting it get to court and you're willing to lie? You're not a fucking cop. You're a fucking criminal. That's what Blacklist should be for. For that. Because the thing is, just transparently, corruption, it's going to happen from time to time. But when that is the way that you operate, you are fucked. You are fucked. Oh my God. And the worst thing about it is, like, Ruby, poor Ruby, man. She's getting robbed into that. She probably doesn't even fucking know what they did. And so, you know, so yeah, that incident, Wadey, it's all self-inflicted. You mentioned hounds. Hounds, we had so much for serial assaults and killings, amongst other things like terrorism. But because an officer had relations with the hounds and other reasons, they, instead of pressing the appropriate charges, which started with murder and recovery, instead of got a bunch of plea deals and ignored all the other reports.
Who was it?
Opal Price.
How does Opal have a relation to the hound?
I don't know, man. She was like dating someone in there. They used to get fucking shit-faced and like do all kinds of shit. But it was it was on top of other things too, because this isn't all on Opal. She got dumped on this because Remy became a target. She got so much shit for it, and instead of no one helped her, and then Opal came in, understandably came in to help, and then wanted to, for whatever reason, instead of anyone actually helping her get the court case in which, you know, the full set of charges included targeting fucking judges and shit, including ones in which we're going to be overseeing Sophie Sanders' case. Instead of giving the proper set, they literally just cut him gave him 10% of the charges. It was so bad that even what's his name? What was DPD that was in the Hounds and no longer is?
Flob?
No, not Flop. Luca. The other Lucas. No, not Lavender. Lovesick.
Oh.
Lovesick literally couldn't get his shit done for like fucking damn 8 weeks. So, yeah, there you go. All self-inflicted wounds. All just a consequence of man, women, children with badges. All of which kind of came back to, hey, if you just took a 6-hour suspension or were honest and not corrupt as shit cops, all these problems, all this bullshit would not have occurred. But that's, you know, it's just fucking, I don't know, man. I look at it like, some people got that victim complex, you know what I mean?
I just, incompetency and just one of those things where you listen to it and it burns you out for a bit, and then you get back on the train and you're just like, okay, yep, let's just keep going then. It's just one of those things where, you know.
It's why you'll probably notice I lean so heavily on a lot of BCSO officers and then select ones in LSPD, because it's like I know that they're not going to do some like wild shit randomly. You know what I mean?
Oh, look, here's the thing. The BCSO have had their own parts of incompetency. I'm not going to lie to you. I came close to issuing an impeachment case against some pretty high people in the BCSO recently, but I decided against it because I didn't want to deal with the fucking clusterfuck that would be dealing with it. Frankly, I also wanted to see as to how they deal with it after the fact, and they did a pretty decent job. But in stating that, I could have. Does not say that there isn't like fucked people from both sides. There is. It's just a matter of dealing with it appropriately when it comes. I don't mind cutting someone a little bit of slack if they fuck up once. But if you make it a recurring thing, like certain people in the LSPD have, that's when it becomes problematic.
That it's exactly that. There's always that danger, right? Where someone decides in the midst of shit that people have dedicated so much time to make it about them. And next thing you know, they're like doing something like, you know, it's why I said like, we're going to be very selective who does that. I don't give a, like, when I have to be like, am I more worried that we're going to get shot in the raid, or that someone's going to walk in there and steal evidence or break, you know, something? It's like, that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's literally it.
is that you, Hobbler?
Yeah.
Damn, you
How are
change
you?
appearances.
Oh, for fuck's sake, is Lucas Miller still around? You fucking pussy.
Oh yeah, let me brief you just real quick. That story continued.